Alrighty then, welcome to Blu-ray editions. So in case you guys didn't know, this is a very special Blu-ray editions because this is the 10th Blu-ray editions I've done. So it's kind of like the 10th birthday for Blu-ray editions. And in case you didn't know, 10 months ago, when I did September Blu-ray editions, that was the first video I ever made. Baby's first Annie Hall reference, as I call it. So, it's a very special video today, so, I just wanted to mention that. Alrighty then, starting us off on this month's Blu-ray editions is... Finding Forrester. I don't like this movie very much. I think it's okay. It's directed by Gus Van Sant, who directed one of my favorite movies, Good Will Hunting. But, I don't know, Finding Forrester, it's just not my favorite. It has Sean Connery and F. Murray Abraham. I loved them in this movie. But I didn't like anything else. It was 2.5 hours long, and none of that time was used wisely. It was boring. I found it pointless. It tried to make writing suspenseful, and it just didn't work. The romance felt forced. I could go on. I have a lot of reasons I don't like Finding Forrester. It's just not a great movie. I find it kind of overrated. Next up is The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Now this is, in my opinion, an overhated, underrated action movie. A lot of people don't like it, but I think it's really fun. It has Henry Cavill, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it has Henry Cavill in this movie as Napoleon Solo, like a CIA agent. And I liked him a lot in Mission Impossible Fallout. I really wish he would do more, like, of these action movies that aren't, like, very fantasy-based, like, The Witcher and, Superman, which he actually recently got fired from. So I'm really hoping he goes into, like, playing these suave, James Bond-like action heroes. And also, Armie Hammer was good in this movie. I liked him in The Social Network as well. Although he's a cannibal, I still liked him in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I'm not really sure how those two relate, but they just do. But, like, it's The Man from U.N.C.L.E., it's about a CIA agent and a KGB agent working together. And it's based off of a show by the same title. And I like how it didn't try to alienate the people who haven't seen the show. Like me, for example. I haven't seen it. But it still managed to be a really enjoyable, mindless action movie that I think you should check out. Very underrated. Next is Miracle on 34th Street. I haven't seen this movie. It's a Christmas movie, so I'm not gonna watch it in the middle of June. Just like you're not going to watch A Christmas Story in the middle of April, because it's insane. So next up is West Side Story. A pretty entertaining musical. Unpopular opinion, I think the greatest musical is Chicago. I don't know why, I just really like Chicago. But, West Side Story, let's talk about it for a second. It's one of my favorite Best Picture winners. It's not my all-time favorite. If you've seen this channel, you should know what it is. I'll give you a hint. It is not this. I grabbed the wrong movie. It is Annie Hall. Annie Hall. Light glaring, I swear. But West Side Story, let's talk about it for real this time. It's a fun movie. It's a good musical. I did not mind that it was 2.5 hours, because it was just really entertaining. Do I have my problems with it? Just a bit. There are some parts that, don't really feel necessary to the movie. But there are some characters like that too. But overall, I think it's a great movie. And also, this is based off Romeo and Juliet. I'm going to sidetrack myself. But let's talk about my bone to pick with Romeo and Juliet. I don't think it's the greatest romance story of all time. It's not, guys. I love William Shakespeare. He's a great playwright and a great writer. I'm not sure if those are the same things. I don't know. But William Shakespeare's great. I don't think Romeo and Juliet is the greatest love story of all time. Two rebellious teenagers were in love for 3 days and then killed each other's families. Dude, Sid and Nancy is a better romance story than that. And Sid stabbed Nancy. So, like, what is so... I don't get Romeo and Juliet. I'm sorry. I just don't. But, yeah, getting back to West Side Story. Great movie. Great musical. Check it out. Next up is The Negotiator. This has Samuel L. Jackson and Kevin Spacey. Now, I am getting into Kevin Spacey. I really like him a lot. I've seen him in The Usual Suspects. I've seen him in Baby Driver, The Negotiator, and K-Pax. All of them I really liked his performances in. But Samuel L. Jackson, man, he is awesome in this movie. If there are some movies that I think Samuel L. Jackson should get Oscars for, it's The Negotiator and Pulp Fiction. They're just great performances. The Negotiator is a highly underrated action movie. Really well written, too. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Next up is Arrival. I haven't seen this movie in a while. I remember seeing it and thinking it was awesome. And I also remember I really liked the third act. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's very twisty. Next up is Deadpool. Say what you will. Say that it's a raunchy comedy trying to be more than it is. I can bet at least one person believes that. It's raunchy. It's overly violent. It is very profane. But I actually think this is a fun superhero movie with a lot of heart to it and great performances. It's Deadpool. It's just a good movie. And unpopular opinion, I think Deadpool 2 is better than the first Deadpool, because the first Deadpool, a lot of the jokes are like, okay, we're gonna tell a joke, and the punchline is Ryan Reynolds swearing. Please laugh. Like, that gets old after a while, just Ryan Reynolds screaming swear words for an hour, 48 minutes. But, like, there's some clever jokes, but in Deadpool 2, it's mostly just, like, a lot of really clever jokes, and also, I don't know, I just like Deadpool 2 more. I just have a better time watching it. Next is Death Proof. Deadpool, now Death Proof. I like this movie. I saw it in the Walmart bargain bin, and I was like, this seems really stupid. And then I saw this is directed by Quentin Tarantino, who is one of my favorite directors. So it no longer seemed stupid, it seemed impressive. And I haven't heard of this movie before, but I watched it. It was really good. A lot of people have said it's Quentin Tarantino's worst movie. I can see why you'd think that, but I actually think it's a pretty good movie. It's entertaining. It has one of the greatest car chases I've seen in my life. Kurt Russell, great performance from that guy. He's a great actor. Yeah, just Death Proof, good movie. Next is The Hitman's Bodyguard. So far, we've gotten The Negotiator with Samuel L. Jackson and Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds. Mix them together, we got Hitman's Bodyguard. Very overhated. A lot of people really don't like this movie. I acknowledge and understand and partially agree with a lot of the complaints people have with this movie, but it's exactly what it's trying to be. And that is a pretty funny, pretty fun, mindless action movie. There are just some times where you need to sit down and not watch some sort of Oscar movie, something like Forrest Gump. I like Forrest Gump, but
Oscar-worthy dramas are like a box of chocolates. They sound good, but you've had your fill after 2 or 3.
sometimes you just need a mindless action movie to turn on and have a good time with. And that's exactly what The Hitman's Bodyguard was. A mindless action movie that I liked a lot. It was very funny, in my opinion, and just very entertaining. So, next is Now You See Me 1 and 2. First, Now You See Me, I really like. I think it's incredibly underrated. A lot of people just say it's a really bad movie, but I think it's a good cat and mouse movie. I like heist movies a lot. The way they do the magic is cool. I don't know. I just like the idea of magicians robbing banks. And every performance in this movie was really good. Mark Ruffalo, Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Isla Fisher, Dave Franco, Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman. Everyone was great. On the other hand, you got Now You See Me 2. I don't love it as much as I love Now You See Me. Like, Now You See Me is a great movie. I really like it. I think it's very entertaining and very fun. Now You See Me Too took, like, everything that was great and just, like, kind of watered it down. Like, you have the cat and mouse aspect. There's no longer a cat and mouse aspect in Now You See Me Too. It's kind of boring, in my opinion. There's, like, one cool scene where they're, like, trying to sneak a chip out of a computer chip out of a facility of some sort, and that scene was the only like really entertaining scene in the entire movie. Everything else was just kind of meh. But yeah, Now You See Me 1 and 2, like Now You See Me a lot. I liked Now You See Me a lot, and I kind of liked Now You See Me too. Next is The Big Lebowski. I haven't seen that yet because it is extremely rated R. But I want to. I like the Coen brothers a lot. I've seen a few of their movies and I liked a few of them. I've seen Oh Brother Where Art Thou and I really love that movie. I've seen Raising Arizona, which I think is one of the most overrated movies I've seen in my life. And I've also seen No Country for Old Men. Great movie. But Big Lebowski, I am excited to see that. My brother and I, we have like 3 movies that we actually really want to watch. Like, as soon as I turn 17 and am allowed to watch R-rated movies, there are 3 movies we're watching. Just dedicate the whole day to that. It's The Big Lebowski, not Fargo, Pulp Fiction, sorry, and, what's it called? Fight Club. Fight Club. Those 3 movies, I don't care that some of them are pretty long. Just dedicate the whole day to it and you'll get through all 3. It's gonna be a great day. Alrighty then, it's the next day in real life, but not the next shirt, because I'm disgusting and I wear shirts more than one time. The reason I am filming this the next day is because I had to take a break and watch a lot of these movies. The Marx Brothers Silver Screen Collection. You got The Cocoa Nuts, Animal Crackers, Monkey Business, Horse Feathers, and Duck Soup. I love all of these movies. I think they're all phenomenal. Let's see. I'm gonna run through the plot of these quickly. Let's see. The Cocoa Nuts is about Groucho Marx running a hotel, and Chico and Harpo are causing shenanigans while he's trying to seduce a very wealthy guest of the hotel to get some money. Animal Crackers is about Groucho Marx being this big shot African explorer. Oh no, he's an explorer who got back from Africa, and then he's at a party, and Chico and Harpo are causing shenanigans. Monkey Business, all the Marx Brothers, Groucho, Chico, Harpo, Zeppo, they're all on a boat, and then they get involved with the mob, which I don't know, but it was good. Horse Feathers, that is about Groucho Marx taking over a college, or becoming president of a college, and then his son is in love with a woman, and he's played by Zeppo, and Groucho tries to get their college's football team to become better, and to do that, he tries to get 2 great football players, but confuses Chico and Harpo to be the 2 great football players he's looking for, and so they end up playing for his football team. And Duck Soup, I just watched it. It is about Groucho taking over and becoming the dictator of the bankrupt Fredonia, and then he wages war on the neighboring country Sylvania, and there are spies played by Harpo and Chico who are spying on Fredonia. But yeah, I think these movies get better within each movie. They all get better. Duck Soup is by far my favorite. Yeah, maybe The Cocoa Nuts, I'm not sure. I like a lot of these movies, though. I like a lot of them. I like these old comedies, like Marx Brothers, Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin. And if you saw my my last video, which was Tables for Two. I definitely took a lot of influence from people like Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, Harpo Marx, because he's mostly silent, all of his movies. Next up is, oh my gosh, Robin Hood. Ugh. Gross, get it away from me. Get it away. I hate that movie so much. I think it is Disney's worst movie. It is a terrible movie. Well, actually, no. It's not Disney's worst movie. They've made worse movies. But it's a terrible movie. They tried to mix The Tale of Robin Hood with folk music for some reason. It was boring. All the music was bad. The characters were boring. I really hated the voice acting for some reason. It just sounded plainer than saltine crackers. I just did not like Robin Hood. It was not a good movie. I didn't think it was good. Don't watch it, please. Next up is Scrooged. I remember watching this a few Christmases ago, and I liked it. I don't remember much else about it. I like Bill Murray a lot. I remember thinking it was really good when I last saw it, but I'm not sure. I'll have to check it. I'll have to check it out around Christmas time, when it's actually in season to be watching. Next up, Edge of Tomorrow. I really loved this movie. I thought it was a really good action movie. Like, I expected it to be kind of boring, kind of unnecessary, just an alien dystopian movie or whatever. It was not that. It was not that at all. It was Groundhog Day, but like everything that could be cool in an action movie, they put in Groundhog Day. Edge of Tomorrow, just great movie. So it's about Tom Cruise. He's like I'm not sure how to put it. He's like high ranking. I'm not sure which rank in the military he was, but he's an officer, and then he's a very high ranking officer, and then he threatens to blackmail one of his commanding officers, and then so he gets placed in battle for that. And they're fighting against aliens. So, then these aliens, they're like trying to, I'm not sure what they're trying to do, but they're really good at fighting. And so, Tom Cruise, he's trying to fight the aliens. Then he goes into the battlefield, and then he dies very quickly. He wakes up the next day, Groundhog Day, or not the next day. He wakes up on the same day, exact same things happen, like Groundhog Day. And he just repeats the day. And then Emily Blunt's character eventually gets into the movie. And everything's so good about this movie. Just please watch it. I don't really know how much I can talk about this movie. But one last thing I want to say about it. Because if I say more, I'm going to get into spoilers eventually. But one last thing I want to say about this movie is I absolutely love the final scene of this movie. It's where Tom Cruise... he wakes up again for the final time, repeating the day, and then he goes around to find Emily Blunt's character, then he finally finds her, and then she, like, gets up, and then she's like, yes, what do you want? And then he just looks at her and goes, I need to know now, can you love me again? That's the end of this movie, and it's incredible. It's one of my favorite endings. I should probably move on. And I should also probably stop talking in awe. I probably should do that. Next up is Black Klansman. I really liked this movie. I thought it was really well directed. It did a great job at building suspense up. The characters were well written. The acting was well done. Everything was great about this movie. The only problem I had with it was it is very long. Like, there's a couple minutes that I really think could have been trimmed out. But overall, this is a great movie. One of the things I should probably tell you guys a bit about the plot first, so you guys can kind of understand what I'm talking about. This is, based on a true story of Ron Stallworth, a black police detective who worked with a Jewish police detective to try and infiltrate the KKK. And so that's kind of hard to do for both of them because they're both kind of targets of hate for the KKK. So they're just kind of spying on them with Ron Stallworth on the phone, setting up all the meetings, and Adam Driver playing Flip Zimmerman, the Jewish police officer or police detective, who is actually attending all these meetings and the ceremonies that they're having. I just really like this movie. I think it does a great job at building suspense. There's this character who you can tell seems kind of mentally unhinged, like kind of harmful. And so you're like, oh boy, whenever anybody's in the same scene as this guy, you just get scared for somebody. Another thing I really like is how the KKK at this point, this takes place in the 70s, and at this point the KKK is a nonviolent organization. They're not actually trying to harm anyone. They just kind of portray them as guys hanging out and kind of talking about racist things. And so you legally can't arrest any of them. So Ron Stallworth and Flip Zimmerman are kind of just staying there, waiting for them to do something illegal, and then they can swoop in and arrest them. And so I like that idea. You can't just go in and arrest them, because that would violate the First Amendment. But as soon as they do something illegal, they're there. And so I really like that idea of just making the audience already hate your villain because of historical things that they've done in the past, which were awful, as well as kind of just showing them as like, yeah, they're nice and all, they're nice to each other, but they're bad people. And so you're just kind of waiting there like, come on, arrest them. You can arrest them soon. It's that way that I like in film, where you kind of encourage audience participation in the way of you have an exact way to really hate your antagonist. And it's just, I really love BlacKkKlansman. It is a great movie. I strongly recommend you see it. It's the best Spike Lee joint I've seen, and the reason I say that is I haven't seen any other Spike Lee joints, but it is really good. Next up is Sling Blade. Most folks call it a sling blade. I call it a Kaiser blade. This is a great movie. This is, I believe this is my dad's favorite movie. I'm not sure, but I can see why. This is a great movie. The acting was incredible. Story, directing. I loved everything about this movie. I think this is a masterfully made movie. It's about, like, this guy, so this guy, Carl, when he was a kid, he murdered his mom and his mom's lover. And so he's very mentally challenged. And so they eventually think that he's no longer a threat to society, and so they let him out. And he's just living his life. And he ends up interacting a lot with this boy and her mother, this boy and his mother, and his mother's very abusive boyfriend. And so I really, really like all of the interactions between all of these characters. Also, this is a very funny movie. There's a lot of parts that I just found really funny. Like, there's a part where so Billy Bob Thornton's character, Carl, he heard a joke that goes, a man from California and a man from Arkansas are peeing off of a bridge. The man from California says, gee, the water's cold. The man from Arkansas says, yeah, and it's deep too. And so he sees that the boy he's friends with, his mother is kind of upset over something that happened. And then so he tries to cheer her up by telling the joke, but he just does it so poorly. He goes, two fellers going to the bathroom off a bridge. One of them says the water's cold. Other says the water's deep. I believe one of them come from Arkansas. and he just butchers it so badly, but it's so funny to watch. This is a great movie. If you haven't seen Sling Blade, I honestly think this is a great movie. I can see why it's one of my dad's favorites. It's definitely earned a place in my favorites. It's a great movie. Next up is, sorry, one sec. that imitation, it really got my throat. Next is K-Pax. You can't get this on Blu-ray, so I got it on DVD. This is my mom's least favorite movie. It is. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was my mom's least favorite movie. I got it, and she was like, no, you're not gonna like this movie. I'm gonna watch it so I can see what I hated about it. And then I finished thinking, yeah, this was really good. Jeff Bridges was good. Kevin Spacey was good. Everyone was good. Even the story was good. And my mom was like, yeah, I don't know why I hated that. Why did I hate that? It's a great movie. Well, no, it's not a great movie. It's a good movie. If you want to go to a movie and think, okay, I want to go to a movie that's very confusing, but I want all my questions to be answered by the end of it, it isn't the movie for you. A majority, like 80% of the questions risen are answered, and then the other 20% are just like, whatever, it's fine, we don't care, it's not important. But overall, this is a great movie. It has Kevin Spacey in it, and so the plot of it is, Jeff Bridges plays a psychologist, and then one day a guy named Prote claims he's from the planet K-Pax, which is really far away, and that he's an alien from K-Pax. And so everyone in the mental hospital that Jeff Bridges works at is very skeptical. They're kind of arguing back and forth, everyone, like, is he actually from the planet K-Pax? Can I go to K-Pax? Do you have any proof of K-Pax existing? And so I think K-Pax is a really well-written movie. So it's come to my attention that some people might not understand what Blu-ray of the month is. I've started thinking a lot of people might think it meant the best movie I've seen out of all of them. So just to clarify, Blu-ray of the month is the best looking Blu-ray. So it's the one that I put in the Blu-ray player and I thought this has really good video and audio quality. But I really don't want to explain that every Blu-ray edition's episode, because that would take a while. It's already taken me a minute. So I think I'm going to be not doing that anymore, and instead I'm just going to be doing movie of the month. So that's just going to be the best movie I've seen out of all of them. But since I've been doing Blu-ray of the month since the start of my channel, I'll do one last one. And the winner of Blu-ray of the month is, drumroll please, West Side Story. Did anyone think it would be anything other than West Side Story? Like, there's perfect audio quality and video quality. You gotta have good video quality to be a musical, because you can hear the music perfectly on this Blu-ray. Great movie. So, now for the first segment of Movie of the Month. Starting us off is West Side Story again. Entertaining musical, fun, good. Next up is The Negotiator, good action movie. Very entertaining. Now You See Me, very well written. I really liked Now You See Me. The Marx Brothers Silver Screen Collection. I'm just gonna lump these as one movie in total, just cuz. Edge of Tomorrow, great action movie. I talked about it, and I love the ending. Next is Black Klansman. Really, really well written. Suspenseful as heck, good acting. Sling Blade. Great acting, great directing, great story, great humor, everything. This is everything I want in a movie. And finally is K-Pax. I really like this movie. It's great. And so, for movies of the month, we're gonna be going best of 3. That means in third place, give it up for the Marx Brothers Silver Screen Collection. My only problem with these movies is that they kind of end abruptly. Like, just wrap it up quickly. Other than that, yeah. Next up is, drumroll, second place, Edge of Tomorrow. Really well-directed action movie, and if it weren't for this one movie, it would get number 1 just because of that ending. It's beautiful. And finally, at number 1, drumroll, everything I've ever wanted in a movie, Sling Blade. This is the greatest movie I've seen in this, out of all of these Blu-rays, Sling Blade. I thank and applaud all of you who have watched what's probably a very lengthy Blu-ray editions video. It means a lot that you actually made it through to the end. Before you leave, how about you tell me what your favorite of all of these movies I got were? Mine, you already heard it, it's Sling Blade. It's a great movie. After you do that, you can head on out. Stay safe and watch good movies. Bye!